Hello everybody, I am Ace Creeper and today we've got a very exciting video for you lot. If you're looking forward to Series 12 or you're just curious about what's going on with Series 12 and you just want to know anything you can about it, this is the video for you. Last year we did a sort of similar thing. My normal content was this kind of news, filming stuff. I did my own custom trailer for Series 11 and then eventually, about a month or so before the first teaser trailer, I made a video, everything we know about Series 11 so far. I then made an updated one later, but the first one, and I thought, I've not done that for Series 12 yet. I've done all the news videos, I've done all the discussion videos, and we're in a bit of a point now where there's no real new information coming in. They're coming towards the end of filming, we're coming towards probably a trailer in about a month, so I thought, why not make everything we know about Series 12? It's going to be a heifer of a video, it's going to be a big long one, as you can probably see already, so apologies for that, but yeah, I would like to just leave a couple of things. Obviously, this is a video of everything we know so far. Some of it's fact, some of it's rumours, some of it's, you know, strongly founded. If it is a rumour, I'll tell you it's a rumour. So don't, you know, if I say something's a rumour, don't go away with it thinking it's fact and then have a go at me if it isn't true, because, you know, I don't know. I'm in the same position as you, I'm just collecting as much information as I can. But on the other hand, some of this is true, some of it might actually be 100%, even the rumour stuff. So take that with a pinch of salt. It could have spoilers. We could be having spoilers in this video, so if you do not want to know anything at all about Doctor Who Series 12, avoid this video like the plague. Thank you for clicking onto it. I don't know why you clicked onto it anyway if you're not wanting to know anything, but now's your chance. Bye-bye. Anyway, I think we'll just get into the video. So we're going to start with layout and timescale. What does that mean? So when do I think a trailer's going to air? When do I think we're going to be getting the series? When do I think it's going to come out? How many episodes? How long are each episode going to be? Important, fun stuff, so let's get into it. So I like to think Series 12 follows the same schedule as Series 11, and I'm going to break down a lot of things that people were saying about San Diego Comic-Con this year being unhealthy for the show. Oh, shut up. Series 11 started filming in October 2017. About 4 months into production, they released their first teaser photo. Jodie on a hill, TARDIS on a hill, brand new logo. First teaser. 9 months into production, they were at San Diego Comic-Con and they revealed the first teaser trailer for Doctor Who Series 11. 11 months into production, or half a month before the series actually aired, they released their final trailer, their final bit of promotion, and then absolutely berated everyone with teaser photos and all that sort of stuff all over the internet, and billboards and stuff everywhere in the UK. Series 12 could follow a similar formula to that. So, Series 12 started filming in January this year, January 2019. 4 months into production, in May, we got our first teaser image, same as Series 11. We got Jodie and the Jadoon. You know, confirming a returning monster, you know, kind of big news, actual still from the show. Big stuff. And then July came, which was only, what, 5-6 months into production, not the 9 months into production that last series was at San Diego Comic-Con, and everyone was going, oh well, Doctor Who wasn't at San Diego Comic-Con, that's really weak, and it means the show's failing. It means they're 5-6 months into production and they haven't got enough stuff yet put together to make a trailer. And if the series isn't coming out for more than half a year, why are they going to start advertising it now? It makes no sense. However, for Series 12, 9 months into production would place that October. October is the same time as New York Comic Con. New York Comic Con, they had a presence at last year. Jodie, Chibnall and Matt Stevens had a Q&A session where they aired the first episode, took questions from fans, etc. They had a big presence at New York Comic Con, so I would be highly surprised if they haven't got a panel at this year's New York Comic Con. I think they will, and I think they will show us our first look teaser trailer for Doctor Who Series 12, October 3rd to the 6th. Conveniently an entire year almost after The Woman Who Fell to Earth aired on screens. So that's interesting. It's not unhealthy that they didn't go to San Diego Comic-Con. Just think about it for a second, just think about what you're saying, realise the production differences, and yeah, it makes perfect sense for it to be in October. That would mean that we'll get our final trailer in sort of mid-December, which is interesting, and then the series would air in January. This is backed up by the people at the BBC who spoke at the resolution screening saying very early 2020, which implies to a lot of people January. Some people have even said that it will start on New Year's Day with episode 1 and then continue on Sunday the 5th in every Sunday afterwards. That would be amazing. 2 Doctor Who episodes in 1 week is a big yes from me, that's brilliant. Very exciting stuff. There have also been rumours of a Christmas special, but as always, it's a rumour and could be a load of rubbish. You know, they didn't use a Christmas special last year, and it's, you know, it's odd because obviously they would have filmed the Christmas special first and they haven't, and if they were going to do a Christmas special, they'd have to film it in like September, October to get it out in December. I think that's just a bit weird, so maybe there won't be, but maybe there will be. I'd be happy to be wrong because that's an extra Doctor Who episode, less than a year after the last one, so that's exciting nowadays. In terms of how the series will be structured, I presume there's no evidence to support this. It makes sense because really they're not going to change much from Series 11 in terms of like scheduling. I presume it's still going to be 10 episodes. Episode 1 hopefully being 65 minutes and the rest being 50 minutes each, and then a special on top of that, hopefully. But that's pretty much all I really want to say about layout and timescale. If you have any questions about that, again, just with anything in this video, let me know in the comments and I'll try and answer as much as I can. But that's all I really want to say about that. Let's get into the episodes. So, episode 1. Based off series standards, we can assume this is Chris Chibnall writing this one. We know Jamie Stone is directing this episode, and based on filming photos, we know this story contains a car chase / car-based scene. They filmed at the Swansea Guildhall, which will double for a sort of MI6 kind of secret service building, presumably, including secret intelligence, cybersecurity, and more. Stephen Fry is guest starring in this story, and according to IMDb, an actress called Dominic Mayer, I will butcher everyone's names in this video, by the way. That's just how it's going to go, so just expect it. She'll be playing a character called Browning, and Darren Mayer will be playing a character called Cisse. With the big opening spy setting for the first episode of the series, it is assumed that this is the episode that will see the companions in Barry Island wearing the tuxedos, and it is also assumed that Jodie will wear a brand new costume with a black coat, as seen in a few of the on-set photos underneath her big sort of, green coat, because it was cold at the time, but you could still see a little bit of a black doctor coat underneath, so maybe she's wearing a bit of a tuxedo in the style of 13's normal costume. We'll have to wait and see, but it's definitely a different costume. We're assuming it's somewhat of a tuxedo, but that's just assumptions, pretty much. Episode 2. I've not got a clue to who the writer is for this one, but I'm going to assume, for reasons I'll explain in a little bit, it is also Chris Chibnall. Lee Haven-Jones is directing this episode and episode 3, because they're doing the whole of the second block. We'll get on to like all the directors in just a little bit. And we knew some point in this series we were going to get a episode based in sort of 1900s France, thanks to a few photos from Cardiff. We got a few cars, a few posters in French, and a sort of few areas being used for filming that looked around about that era. So that was totally fair to assume, but we didn't know which episode it was. Then, actress Aurora Marion posted to her Instagram. The post is now deleted, by the way, obviously, because this is a big thing, which actually detailed the fact that it actually was episode 2, and that she will be playing a famous spy called Noor Inayat Khan, who was a special operations executive in the British Air Force during the Second World War. Quite a famous person, not as big scale as like Rosa Parks or anything, but still one. You know, it's one of those Doctor Who episodes that I presume will bring a lot of light to a historical figure that maybe some people didn't actually know about, which is always a good thing. She posted this on her Instagram with sort of like cutout of the dress and like a selfie and all that sort of thing. So there was quite a bit of information put out there that probably shouldn't have been. Noor Inayat Khan died in Dachau concentration camp via a shot to the back of the head in 1944. Why is that important? Well, the actress specifically mentioned the death of her character, which may or may not be quite brutal for Doctor Who. We'll have to wait and see what that means, whether it's suggested off screen or whether we actually see something like that. I mean, it's not too uncommon. Someone got shot in the face in Demons of the Punjab. We didn't see it, but it was totally implied and totally there in front of us. We just didn't see, obviously, the bullet hitting the head, did we? I'm expecting this episode, if true, to be a harrowing episode, very similar to that of Demons of the Punjab. A sort of setting around the Holocaust in Europe, sort of Paris. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit hard-hitting, I think, which is always going to be a great thing for the beginning of a series, because similar to how Rosa and Demons of the Punjab affected people, it may not be something you sit down with a bucket of popcorn, but it is something that hits you and goes, Christ, this is good. Personally, I think this is a two-parter. The themes of MI6 and spies in episode 1, and then you've got episode 2 with a famous spy in a different time era. It just makes me think, like, well, you know, it could be a really big, bombastic opening two-parter, you know, two different spy stories right next to each other. Maybe that is a related thing. A sci-fi spy drama through time, if you will. It would be a great way to drag audiences back in after the year off. But that being said, two different directors are doing these episodes, so I'm not 100% confident in that, but it would be nice. Episode 3. We don't know very much about this episode at all. We know next to nothing about this. IMDb suggests that this episode will be written by Ed Heim, who wrote It Takes You Away last year. He's confirmed to be on the writing team this year, but we have no idea whether it's this episode or another episode, so take that how you will. It will be, as mentioned before, it will be directed by Lee Haven-Jones, again, doing episode 2 and 3. Lee Haven-Jones did direct an episode in Tenerife this year, which stars James Buckley of Inbetweeners fame, as seen on his CV. The actor was also rumoured to be wearing a green wig and called Nevi. However, no photos have actually been seen of said green wig or anything about the character, so that could also be total rubbish. Will Austin is apparently playing a character called Vorm. There's stuff about Nevi, Vorm, you know, like alien-y, weird, wacky stuff. Ed Heim did that with the Frog last year. This could be likely, you know, Ed Heim picking an episode up that has that sort of theme, that could be very likely, and with this obviously being the 2 episodes that Lee Haven-Jones directs in this series, I don't think an actor wearing a green wig would fit very well into Holocaust-era Europe. But who knows, maybe I'm wrong. Before we get into any more episodes, I'd like to address directors. There's just something, it gets a bit uncertain from this point onwards, so we're just going to go through individual blocks, who's directing what and what we know so far. Jamie Stone is officially directing blocks 1 and 5, which includes episodes 1, 5, 9 and 10, officially. Lee Haven-Jones is directing block 2, which includes episodes 2 and 3. Here's where it gets complicated though. Emma Sullivan is directing block 4, which we don't know the episodes for yet, so that could be either 4, 6, 7 or 8. So it could be either of those 4, has to be 2 of those. And then finally, Nydia Manzo is directing block 3. We know she's doing the Jadoon episode, and it'll just be, you know, she'll have 2 episodes to herself, and Emma Sullivan will have 2 episodes to herself, but it's unclear what those episodes are yet, so I'm not going to say confirmed. They are directing those individual blocks, so there you go. There's your 4 directors for this series, not including any potential specials that could be in a possible block 6, if that happens. Now, episode 4, not a clue who the writer is, could be directed by Nydia Manzo or Emma Sullivan. That's all we know about that episode. Episode 5, not a clue who the writer is, once again, and the episode is directed by Jamie Stone. IMDb says the Sea Devils. Someone's playing a Sea Devil in this episode, and the Sea Devils might be returning in this episode. But since anyone with a registered account can actually edit IMDb, it is just as reliable as anyone really, so I'm not going to get my hopes up just yet, but it would be nice, I just don't see it happening. However, it would fit in well with the rumours of an episode themed around the environment and plastic waste into the oceans, as originally suggested by The Mirror, who do have a good track record with Doctor Who over the last few years. See Bradley Walsh casting, Daleks returning in the Series 11 special, no Christmas special, etc, etc, etc. They've got quite a few things right over the previous years, and this whole environment-based episode could fit in with the Sea Devil thing, if that rumour's correct, you know, sea, plastic, you know, it would work, you know, it could also work with the Autons, people have said, but I suppose we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, there's nothing concrete yet. I wouldn't get your hopes up about Sea Devils until we get anything official, but you know, it's a nice thought. Episode 6, once again, no clue who the writer is, however we will get onto that in just a bit. This could be directed by either Emma Sullivan or Nydia Manzo officially. Rumours have suggested that this episode will be the Jadoon episode, and if that's true, this episode will be directed by Nydia Manzo, as she was actually seen on set with the famous alien police people. This episode has a lot of information out about it, and I may end up missing a few things out because it was all filming in public over the span of like a week or 2, so obviously I'm probably going to miss a few things because I haven't looked through all of it. If you want to see my individual breakdowns of the on-set footage and the on-set photos and all that sort of thing in full detail, you can check those videos out on my channel right now. But here's just a kind of basic summary breakdown of what we kind of know. The Jadoon are returning. They appear to be patrolling or looking for someone outside of Gloucester Cathedral. They do shoot an old woman at some point, and they threaten/scan many people minding their own business around the area. Jodie and the Jadoon filmed a full day inside the cathedral, which we obviously don't have any pictures of because it wasn't outside. And they also do go into a cafe in Cardiff, and presumably the inside of a Jadoon ship? by the looks of the teaser image. You make your own mind up about that. Actor Neil Stuck guest stars in the Judoon episode. And Nick Briggs is also in it, who does do the voice of the Judoon. And new blasters, new hair, I guess? That's pretty much all I really want to break down. There's so much information about the Judoon out there, so many different pictures, some of which I wouldn't have even included on this video because there's so many of them everywhere, because they filmed a lot of it outside. So if you want to check that out, check Twitter, check my older videos on them. But yeah, that's pretty much a basic breakdown of that episode. Okay, so another small break between episodes. Let's talk about writers. There are no writers confirmed for any specific episodes in this series, so the video contains mostly guesses and estimations here, because I can't go, okay, so even though this person is officially on the writing team, I can't say they write a certain episode because we have no idea yet. Confirmed writer and continued showrunner is Chris Chibnall. Yes, there's a rumour. Yes, you're absolutely allowed to believe what you want. But for me, until I see some genuine evidence beyond a Gallifrey-based forum post and a tweet, I'm not going to believe that Chibnall's gone. Just yet. But Chibnall is the guy who's showrunning Series 12 of Doctor Who either way, and it is assumed he will write at least a couple of episodes. Although I do think he'll helm less episodes than last series. Ed Heim is back again. He wrote It Takes You Away last year. He's officially on the writing team this series, as seen on his CV. I'm going to butcher this name, but Nina Mativia, I believe, who edited 2 scripts last series. I think The Woman Who Fell to Earth and It Takes You Away she did script editing for. She did those last series, and she will apparently be writing an episode this year. Vinay Patel, who wrote Demons of the Punjab, has been very, very active on Twitter this year. He's had a lot of interactions with people like Mandip Gill, all that sort of thing, etc., saying see you on Monday or something, like on set presumably, so it is presumed that he is going to be on the writing team as well, although that's not officially confirmed yet. He did post a photo in early August on Twitter with Pete McTeague, Joy Wilkinson and Ed Heim. Pete McTeague did retweet this with hashtag WhoMates, so it's not confirmation, but I feel like these writers from the previous series, obviously Pete McTeague did Kablam, Joy Wilkinson did The Witchfinders, and Ed Heim obviously did It Takes You Away. It is assumed that these Series 11 writers will join the Series 12 writing team as well. It's fair to assume. I'm not going to try and pronounce this guy's name because I will butcher it, but here it is on screen. He's been rumoured to be writing a Series 12 episode, but that is just total rumour at this point. There's nothing really strong towards that. Victoria Asa Archer was originally slated for the Series 12 writing table, but instead made writing credits on the VR game Runaway, so it is unlikely that she's going to be making any Series 12 contributions. So she has written technically for the Doctor and for the show and for the modern era, but not quite for a full episode for TV. If these new writers are included, it means Chibnall would only be writing 4 episodes or less in Series 12, which is 2 less than the previous series. And that does actually make sense. If you look at Moffat and Russell T Davies' trends from their first series to the second series, they do tend to write a lot less when they get more into the role of showrunner. That's totally fair, and that's absolutely fine by me. Episode 7, no clue to the writer, and the director is either Emma Sullivan or Nida Manzo. No idea what the story is, and that's about that. Episode 8, there is a rumour for the writer, which we'll get into, but it could be total rubbish, and it probably will be. It's directed by either Emma Sullivan again, or Nida Manzo. A rumour published by a reliable source at the Mirror suggests we may get a Cyberman story based around a similar plot, era, etc. to the Big Finish story The Silver Turk. Depending on how you feel about the TV show taking ideas and themes from Big Finish stories, a few whispers did suggest that the writer of the Big Finish story, Mark Platt, may return to adapt the story for screen, similar to how Rob Shearman wrote Jubilee for Big Finish, and then got asked to do Dalek for TV. Both similar stories, but different enough to the point where it really works. And then again, it's not insulting to the original idea. Yeah, it works hand in hand, and you know, die-hard fans of the Big Finish stuff will not be as upset if it's the same writer coming back to do it. Either way, that is all rumour, but a new historical Cyberman story with a new design late on in the series would be a big, fat yes from me. Episodes 9 and 10. No writer confirmed, although because we're getting towards the end of the series, I suspect Chris Chibnall for both of them. Both are directed by Jamie Stone, which makes me suspect/hope for these 2 episodes to be a big bombastic 2-parter finale. No information has yet been given about the content of the story though. And that's pretty much it for all the episodes. We're going to break down all the other different information that we can't quite place on a certain episode yet, but we're just going to go through this as quickly as possible. So do bear with me, I know it's a long video, but here we go. Actress Molly Harris has been cast as Suki Cheng in a Series 12 episode which is directed by Jamie Stone. That could be episodes 1, 5, 9 or 10. Scenes involving Yaz's native Hallamshire police station are used for Series 12 via pictures shared by fans online, so that is officially confirmed. We'll be looking more into Yaz's profession again, using the police stuff. Thank God. Ruth Clayton, a tour guide, first introduced in the Jadoon episode, is apparently in episode 10 as well. Who knows what that means, but that's interesting. Thanks to Independent Talent's CV page, we can see that Years and Years actor Maxim Baldry will be playing a role in Doctor Who Series 12 under various directors, implying either a two-parter or a various filming block. At least it's implied that he's going to be in more than one episode. He did post a picture on his Instagram of him and a few other people in some very 19th century looking garments, so obviously it's a historical. Maybe it could be the presumed Cyberman one. That will be quite interesting perhaps, and you know, who knows, he might maybe a two-parter, he might jump on board with the TARDIS team, we don't know. Either way, it could be very exciting, and I kind of crossed my fingers because he's a good actor as Maxim Baldry, loved him in Years and Years, so yeah, hoping so. A scene was recently filmed between two new aliens in a street in Cardiff. In my opinion, they look incredibly goofy, and yeah, hopefully they're going to be CGI'd the hell up, because they do look a bit 70s for modern Who, in my opinion, but you know, I'm happy to let it slide depending on how it looks on screen. Fans on Twitter gave them the nicknames of Voldemort and Elsa for obvious reasons. Jodie's TARDIS interior will have some very minor changes. All that's known so far is that there will be new blue circular lights on the columns, and the table built into the TARDIS set last series may actually finally be used. The series did film in South Africa again at some point, as confirmed officially by the Doctor Who team. No clue which episode this is though. And Gillian Monhindra from Sarah Jane Adventures and The Bodyguard will star as Queen Skithra, maybe? In Block 3 at some point. So that's interesting. You know, an actual kind of decent Doctor Who name coming back to play a different character entirely. Not the first time it's happened, but this is, you know, I mean, a companion for Sarah Jane in that, you know, an actual popular spin-off years ago. A bit odd, but, you know, she's making a name for herself now in the bigger bad world of acting, especially in The Bodyguard, so yeah, I'm quite up for it, and I'm interested to see what they do with it. Hopefully there's a reference to Rani, but it's not going to happen. This photo here, apparently taken in a Doctor Who set abroad, shows a very 1940s-esque New York, apparently. So, could we expect an episode based around that era in New York? Perhaps we could. We have already seen Daleks in Manhattan, which was interesting. But that was it was mostly CGI. They never actually went down on the streets or anything, and when they did, it was usually at the camps or like a park or something, anything you could usually film in the UK just to make it cheaper. But now we've got the CGI budget, now we've got all the budget for this big set to make things work, so maybe we could see something a little bit more grounded in that era. Interesting. And finally, a big one. A photo leaked a while ago from a sound producer working on Series 12. The photo is now deleted, and I do not want my video being removed because there's a lot of stuff in this that, you know, I spent a lot of time putting this together, so I don't want the video to get removed. So you're going to have to trust me on this. I'm going to try and do a little bit of a sketch just so you kind of know what I'm talking about. But the photo featured a monitor with some audio files on it in the sort of work in progress thing from a screenshot from presumably a Series 12 episode. The frame was the interior of a TARDIS. Not Jodie's though. Classic Roundels, darker lighting. This is not Jodie's. As previously described, her TARDIS will mostly be staying the same. So, what could this mean? Another TARDIS, presumably. The Master? The Rani? Rassilon? Corsair? Monk? Romana? Another Time Lord? Clara? Ugh. Who knows? But it could be anyone. So I find that quite interesting. You can find that image online somewhere, but I don't want to put it in this video because I don't really want it taken down, really. So, yeah. Anyway, I think that is pretty much everything we know so far. We're going to do another video after the first teaser trailer comes out and after we know a little bit more information towards the actual release of the series. We'll do an updated version of this, so keep an eye out for that. And yeah, we're getting closer and closer to Series 12 now. It may seem a while off, but it's, you know, it's like less than 2 months until we're probably going to get a teaser trailer. That's quite exciting stuff, and to me that feels like it's gone dead quickly, but you know, we'll have to wait and see. I'm quite excited for it. But yeah, if you do want to support this content, because this took a hell of a long time, if you do want to support myself, my content, the channel, all that sort of stuff, please do consider checking out and supporting me on Patreon. We've got a Patreon page, which is quite nice. You get some lots of exclusive things for very small prices, and you're really helping me out with the channel. All the names who are currently patrons of the channel are linked in the description in a big long list, and anyone who's a $5 patron or above is also on the end screen as well. I would like to thank the fan base as a whole for collecting all this information. I couldn't have done it without the many passionate fans on Twitter, Discord, all that sort of thing. Too many to name. I will thank Cultbox as well, a website that has a lot of information and stuff on there about Series 12, which I was able to use and pick stuff from, so that was really good and interesting as well. And yeah, just thank you generally to everyone who's contributed this year to kind of piecing together what Series 12 could actually be about. Anyway, that's all from me. I bet you're glad to hear that. Leave a like if you enjoyed, comment below for any more suggestions in the future, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out the Patreon page, check out our Discord, and I will see you all later. Have a lovely day. Bye bye.